Hi everybody, welcome back to Ox Talks. It is January 2nd, 2024. It is the first regular workday of the year. So we are back at it here. Business is resuming as usual, running the practice today, dealing with clients, responding to emails, fielding phone calls. We've got a busy month on the calendar this month with the law in motion, things I have to attend to, depositions to take, and things of that nature. If you are fortunate enough to have your own business and to be able to run your own business, I think it's important for all of us to focus this year on improving customer and client and patient relations. There are no guarantees. For those of us that are fortunate enough to have our own business and lucky enough to be our own bosses, I constantly strive to make sure that I'm improving the relationship between myself and my clients, the communication level, returning phone calls promptly, responding to emails promptly, obviously doing a good job and taking all matters seriously and giving them their due attention. So we all need to do that. If you're thinking about starting your own company, I really think that this year is going to be a great year for people to branch out, for people to start their own company, start their own side hustle, start to become independent if you can, and create a source of income stream for yourself and your family that's not reliant on an employer cutting you a check, because you just don't know if that employer is going to or is already in economic or financial trouble. You don't know if that employer is going to start reducing headcount in your respective place where you work, and you could be a victim of a downsizing or of a layoff. So if you're not prepared for that, if you don't have 6 months of reserve set aside where you can weather that storm, now I think is a better time than any to give some thought to what can you do as a side hustle, side gig, or even as a primary source of income to shift that control that's over you as an employee away from your boss and into your own hands. I did a video. Well, first of all, let me say thank you, everybody, for subscribing to my channel, for watching these shows. I really am encouraged by the feedback and the community we're building here. So please continue to watch. Please subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and let's share them with as many people as we possibly can. 2024 is already starting out to be tumultuous. I've got some articles to share with you today. The markets, the stock market had a rough day, especially the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 today. NASDAQ lost, I think, 1.5%. I saw that the 10-year bond was the 10-year bond was up almost at 3.95% again, which was a substantial sell-off in the bond market today. I saw that cryptos are holding pretty nice gains, despite the dollar putting on a huge gain today. I saw over 80 cents on the dollar index. Gold and silver so far hung in there today. I saw gold down a couple dollars, silver down 10 or 12 cents. So let's see how this continues to unfold. But not a good day if you're in the NASDAQ or the S&P 500. Let's shift over to a topic I discussed last week, which was the rampant theft in these big box stores. And the article I shared last week on a video had to do with Walmart and also Target and what measures they were taking to try to address the rampant shoplifting and theft of products from their stores. And that included, as we know, locking up products behind cabinets in the stores. So I've got an article today that came out of the street, and it says Dollar General has an answer for Target and Walmart's theft issue. And it talks about Dollar General not being a dollar store. It said it's a low-cost retailer that sells essentials, everything from food to household goods. In many cases, it serves a clientele that cannot easily access another retailer. That means that any change the retailer makes in its merchandise has a large impact on its customers. And what that means is that a Dollar General serves a lower income group of people that don't necessarily have the ability or the option to go down the street to Walmart or to Target or to their local grocery store. And so this says, when you visit Dollar General, you notice pretty quickly that the chain has very low staffing levels. Stores are often in a mild stage of disarray, with shelves often not fully stocked, while others have boxes blocking the aisles. So it says the chain has had supplementing its meager staff with self-checkout, a recipe to encourage theft, which has been both intentional theft and accidental theft, which is why Target and Walmart and Walgreens have all staff dedicated to monitoring checkout lanes, and in some cases have dropped or limited them altogether. It says this new CEO of newly returned CEO of Dollar General says that we plan to, and here's what he's saying, we plan to increase the employee presence at the front end of our stores, and in particular the checkout area. While self-checkout has contributed to the convenient proposition for our consumers in certain stores, it does not reduce the importance of a friendly, helpful employee who's there to greet customers and assist while the checkout process is happening, which means someone there to oversee what you're putting in your bag, so hopefully you're not walking out the door with things that you didn't pay for. It says Dollar General is calling, what they're doing is the CEO has decided to, as one of the ways to address this theft issue, is to, he says, meaningfully reduce SKUs in one of the most immediate areas of focus, identified several opportunities to eliminate certain SKUs that have become less productive. So Dollar General is calling this a way to focus on items that sell better, but does not mean but it does mean offering fewer choices for consumers. He believes that cutting how many items the chain sells will also cut down on theft. It says third quarter gross profit as a percentage of sales was 29%, a decrease of 147 basis points. The decrease was primarily attributable to an increase in shrink, lower inventory markups, and increased markdowns. I looked up the definition of shrink, and what that primarily means is reduced inventory from things that are stolen. So your inventory levels reflect something in your databases, but that's not actually what's on the shelves, because people are taking things that they didn't buy. So when they don't check out, it doesn't get reduced from the inventory on the books. So that's what they're calling shrinkage. Vassos believes that the economic condition of the chain's core customers remains a problem in the new year. He says in the new term, we expect continued overall pressure on the sales line, particularly in non-consumable categories. He says shrink has continued to be a sizable headwind to the company, and we expect this will remain with us into the next year, as any shrink improvement typically takes at least a year from the store's most recent count to show up in the annual financial results. So Dollar General is going to be stocking less items. They're going to be carrying less lines of products for their consumers. And so this is a situation where the rampant theft and the decline in the moral and ethical fabric of our society, with people just simply taking things from these stores, is hitting the bottom line. It's hitting the consumers. We talked about how costs of goods are going to increase from this also, but now we're talking about a reduction in product lines, a reduction in available options for us consumers to purchase because this is happening. What's the solution? I mean, does it start at the at the family level? Does it go to the political level? But as a society, we have major problems, and we're going to see this unfolding and growing this year. Unfortunately, I'll keep reporting on these things. I think it's important for all of us to know. I'll address also briefly. I had a comment from a subscriber a few days ago asking about zombie companies. And I saw an article that popped up back on the 28th of December that I wanted to share. This from NPR. And it talks about zombie companies. The title of the article is Why Corporate Bankruptcies Were Up in 2023 Despite the Improving Economy. But it addresses zombie companies. As the zombie companies are on the rise, which could mean even more bankruptcies. A zombie company, they define as a firm that does not make enough money to pay the interest on their debt. They're called zombies because despite not doing the very minimum on their debt obligations, they still exist even if their fundamentals are essentially dead. And this guy says the number of zombie companies has been skyrocketing in recent years, which creates a major drag on the economy. That's because the ambling corpse-like companies are using money that could be put towards other parts of the economy, like more innovative and productive companies. Listen to this statistic. It says the number of zombie companies, Altman's research has shown, has grown from 1.5% in the 1990s to nearly 10% today among publicly traded companies in the world's 20 largest economies. That is staggering. That means that, essentially, 1 in 10 publicly traded companies is fitting the definition of a zombie company. It says corporate zombies are on the rise, and this guy predicts it's going to get worse in 2024. When an enormous amount of corporate debt is coming due and companies are facing difficulties trying to refinance or pay off that debt. And then, of course, the result ultimately is insolvency and bankruptcy. It says for now, those companies are somehow surviving, but many will eventually go bankrupt. So Stephanie Kelt, an economics professor at Stony Brook University, said banks are not extending as many lifelines to struggling companies as they once did, since credit is no longer cheap. Companies cannot afford it, and banks view debt-saddled firms with cash flow problems as risky borrowers. So we have zombie companies on the rise. We have corporate bankruptcies on the rise. We have the beginning of 2024 with a bit of a sell-off. And we have a society that literally is coming apart at the seams. And where does this end? We're going to have to see how this plays out. Let's let the new year get underway a few more days here and see what, if there's real market jitters or if things are going to smooth out. And let's see if the stock market march continues higher. I had a friend of mine text me earlier and say he was down $103,000 at about noon today in the market. And my response was, well, Happy New Year. That sounds like a lot of fun. Well, let's see where it goes. With that being said, I'm going to be going to get my workout here in a couple of hours today. And I hope all of you are going to do the same. 2024, let's get in shape. Let's get off the couch. Let's set and actually work towards a goal to become fitter, stronger, more resilient, stronger immune system. All these things come from taking your health seriously, working on improving your diet. They say you are what you eat. There's a lot of truth to that. So, look, you can work out 2 hours a day, but if you eat like crap, you're going to see no results. And look, I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not an expert, but I will tell you, look it up. Diet is more important, believe it or not, than the exercise component of your workout and get in shape plan. So let's all of us take it seriously. I'm sticking on my regimen. I'm going to keep building on the strengths this year. And I hope all of you have a great afternoon, evening tonight. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.